Well, hello, Viking fans, and welcome to the 2021 edition of Viking Talk with Coach Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis, and always great to have with us Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, good to see you again.
You too, Brandon.
Do you realize this is our 7th year of doing this show?
I did not.
7 years, right?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, having fun, whatever it is. We started out there in the locker room. We were in here in the old weight room. Now we're here behind the nice places. Hopefully by year 10 we'll get this right?
That's right.
Hopefully we're both still around in year 10.
That's right. It's been a good 7 years, and we appreciate you for all you do and what you bring to our program. So enjoyed it and look forward to many years.
Well, you know, it's funny. People always ask me, are you always so serious? I said, every once in a while I get him to smile.
That's right.
But it's business once we get done with this show. But last time that we met back in the spring for a special spring edition, talking about getting ready to go up against a very good Laurel team down at the University of Southern Mississippi. Came away with a hard-fought 7-6 victory. That was a great Laurel bunch we played against. A lot of excitement from the kids after the game. Coach, talk about how that victory and that experience helped springboard you into the summer program.
Well, you know, people look at jamborees, spring games in different ways. We look at them as, number one, we're trying to win. You know, it may be a different format, it may be different scenarios, playing a bunch of different people. But number one is you're trying to teach your kids how to win and what that looks like. And we were able to do that. I thought that was important. You can see that breeds excitement. That breeds a sense of, you know, pride in what you're doing and being able to win in a game where we didn't play particularly just outstanding. And we were able to find a way to win. What does that look like? You know, finding ways to win. And, but again, anytime you can learn while you're still winning is always a plus. And great experience. I mean, you take your kids to the University of Southern Mississippi on a great trip, and proud of how we organized it, and proud to, you know, take them and let them see that kind of atmosphere. And yeah, it was just an overall great experience, and played a really good team in Laurel with a lot of, you know, a lot of storied tradition there in their program, and a well-coached football team, and nothing but positives came out of that, and what a great learning experience.
Well, you talked about the spring, and you said something that surprised me, was that maybe this off-season is the best off-season you've had at Warren Central.
Right.
Did that carry over into the summer program? Talk about that.
Yes, had a great summer. These kids have really been accountable to themselves and one another, and understand how important it is. It's you know, if you want to be great, you have to put in the work. And there's no substitute for hard work, and there's no shortcuts. And they've definitely done the things that it takes to be successful. You know, we've seen their bodies change. We've seen their minds change. We've seen really a transformation of young boys into men. And proud to be a part of that. And this group has been exceptionally well in the weight room, and accountability to this team and each other. And you know, my hope as their coach is that the hard work does pay off, and they get to you know, they get to reap what they sow.
Well, Coach, we went into last Friday night against a 4A opponent, North Pike. They're going to be a contender in 4A, as they are every year. Came over with a 20-14 win over the Jaguars. Going back, I had a chance to watch some of the film. It looked like there was a lot of teachable moments out there on that field. What did you and the staff take away from that?
Well, you know, North Pike, you know, anybody that's been familiar with Warren Central, in the earlier days, we would play South Pike, play Macomb, and those teams, and this North Pike team's off of that same bunch, and, you know, the same bloodline and same community. And you know, I thought they were very talented and big, and they did a really good job of what they were doing. We were proud to have them up and to get our jamboree game in. But like you said, it's those jamborees are so important. You know, you think you have everything covered, and there's only so much you can do in practice. And being able to put them under the lights and put them in that atmosphere, you know, it really opens up the doors for possibility for corrections and fixing things. And I thought we did some things well. The biggest thing you look at is what it takes to win and how you lose ball games. You know, you get talking about that. We had 2 turnovers that were very costly in the first half that you know, anybody that knows anything about football is you cannot turn the football over. And that put us really in a bind, kind of chasing our tail early on, and it was good to see our team keep its composure. I was very proud to see that. Probably the most proud thing that I had, you know, felt all night long was we were down. I think we threw a pick 6, and they got a A big play early on in the scramble, we lost pursuit of the quarterback and let a receiver get behind us. All teachable moments, and everything that we did wrong, the good thing about it is that we can fix it all, and able to do that. But really, what I liked about our team was, we get down 14-0, and we were able to keep our composure and just settle down, and I thought we started to really kind of dictate the flow of game, get some stops on defense, really establish our running game, and I was really proud of our younger guys too in the second half of finding a way to get the lead and hanging on to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. 20 unanswered points, and then at the end of the ball game, they're driving. You had to rely on your junior varsity 10th graders.
Yeah, what a great
to close it out.
That's
that
right.
was a good sign for
Great
us here.
experience, and they were, they took the challenge, and we get them all ready to play, and for those moments, and it's good to see them come through.
Well, before we talk about this season, let's talk about our new region that we are in. We are in a new home, moving to Region 3 South. Region 3 of 6A South. Lose some old rivalries, pick up some new ones, Coach. Some that we're familiar with, Pearl, Northwest Rankin. But how excited are you about this move?
Well, change is it's always exciting. There's a little bit of it'll be a little bit of uncomfortable as far as not knowing in different things, as far as traveling in different places, and maybe a different locker room, different environment, different stadium that we've never been to. A lot of these guys, myself as well. But it's the region's going to be competitive.
Right.
We left a region in 2-6A that was just as competitive as it gets. We're going into another region that's, if you ask most people, Region 2 6A and Region 3 6A are your toughest districts, and you got a lot of blue bloods in this one, and Meridians, and and Oak Grove, and Petal. Those are guys that have been coming up and coming, and been in some state championships appearance in Northwest Rankins, and of course us and Pearl go all the way back to our little 6 days and the little Dixie days, and so it's going to be some familiar teams in there. A lot of them are playing in the Little Six Conference in junior high.
That's right.
With Terry and Pearl and Brandon, Northwest Rankin. But so there'll be a little familiarity there. But I like it because I think it keeps us from traveling. I think it was a good move for us. I think it cuts down on our traveling. And again, we're at this point in time, we're not much changes as far as the competition that goes. We're going to have to play, week in and week out, really bring it, really stay focused, locked in, get better, get constantly better. But we're excited about it, and just looking for the opportunity to compete and play good football.
Yeah, well, some of my friends are telling me, hey, you're in an easier region now. But you look at it, I don't really think so. Oak Grove, Petal, Pearl, Northwest Rankin, those are home games. Go on the road, you're going to take on Brandon, great program, Meridian, you talked about them, and Terry. Nothing easy about this. No such thing as an easy win. But you have to feel a little excited knowing the meat grinder that you went through each year in Region 2. Now you're coming down to Region 3. You've got to have the confidence that you can play with these guys, right?
Oh, confidence, no doubt. We have confidence we can play with anybody, anytime. But really nothing changes as far as what we've seen, and that's how we're looking at it. It's going to be super competitive, and anybody can beat you on any given night. But again, our kids, they're excited about it, and we're excited about kind of establishing ourselves in this district.
Well, this is Viking Talk, visiting with Coach Josh Morgan. Coach, as we all know, Jackson Public Schools last year, they elected not to play their season due to COVID concerns. So we really are taking on an unknown team this Friday night in Forest Hill in the Red Carpet Bowl. But from what you've been able to see, what have you and the rest of your staff been able to decipher about this Patriot team?
So, I'm glad. I'm glad for them. I'm glad for them to have the opportunity, those kids and coaching staff. I know they're going to be anxious and ready to go. Forest Hill has got some very talented kids. We were able to see them in the Southern Miss Jamboree. Mm-hmm. They played before us. Athletic, and they'll probably be bigger than us and faster than us, to be honest with you. It's just a very, pass the eyeball test for sure. And have an outstanding quarterback. Anytime that I think he's 6'3", 6'4", and got a really big arm. So anytime you see somebody like that, that poses a lot of concerns because anytime they hook up, it has the opportunity or possibility of going for a big play. And anybody that can throw it and catch it is a dangerous football team. And you've heard me say that a long time, but it's very, very true. You know, it goes back to when I was at State playing Middle Tennessee and teams like that. You had a quarterback that could throw it. You know, they had an opportunity to beat you.
Right.
And that's the way I feel about this team. They're going to be big. It's your typical JPS schools, very big, very talented, tough, and you know, we've got limited film on them, and our kids are going to have to do a good job, and coaches of adjusting and adapting in the game and making in-game adjustments.
Well, yeah, we talked about that. That was probably a plus we had. They played right before us down at Southern Miss. That's a big-bodied quarterback.
Yeah.
Big kid, big arm, likes to throw it to his receivers. So that being said, we have a young defensive backfield. So how important is it going to be this Friday night for our defensive line and the front seven to get pressure on him to keep him uncomfortable?
Yeah, we got to do it as a unit. You know, we made some, like I said in the Jamboree, we let a guy get behind us, and it cost us, you know, basically ended up 7 points. So we have to learn and have to pursue the football. You know, when you pursue the football and you truly run to the football, you know, you're able to make up for mistakes that are made. So, you know, we hang our hat on running the ball and always pursuing it with reckless abandon and making sure. But, you know, the greatest pass defense is a pass rush, and we need to do it as a complete unit, be where we're supposed to be doing our jobs, and eliminate the big play and make them drive the field and be consistently good. And so, again, you know, you're right. We've got breaking in basically 3 new starters in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our corners and strong safety. So it's you know, again, it poses a threat. You know, we've got to be very well, grow up really quick, and be ready to play.
Well, not much film, as you said, on Forest Hill. There was this past week, I believe they played Morton in their scrimmage game. Looked like they run a 3-man front defensively, Coach. Running teams normally struggle against a 3-man front. Why is that?
Well, because when you stack 3 linebackers behind a 3-man front, it causes confusions and different angles that you normally see. And it just, you know, usually, for example, if the linebackers stack 3 behind the offensive line or defensive line, but now your offensive line has to be athletes. They have to be more athletic, and they have to climb at different angles. And also, they have the possibility of running several different blitz looks. Mm-hmm. So again, I think you know, the combination of those. But again, you know, we've seen them in a 4-2-5 look. We've seen them in a split look in the spring game some. So, you know, again, going into preparation this week, we've had to prepare for multiple fronts and different looks, and being ready for, you know, not being surprised by anything that we see. So, you know, it makes it challenging. But again, we're trying to set our guys up for success the best we can.
I would argue with you and argue with anybody on the staff that the offensive line is probably the strength of this team this year. You've got 3 returning starters that are all big-bodied kids that are getting looks from colleges, and then you throw in a couple of new guys that had playing experience in the past, and they seem like they have gelled really, really well, Coach. Talk about this offensive line and how they can handle this 3-man front or whatever they may be throwing at you this week.
Yeah, you know, they should be the strength. You know, that's, you know, right now that's what they're predicted to be, is being better than last year and being the strength, and we need them to be the strength. You know, we're breaking in a plethora of new starters, a new starting quarterback, and we need them to be solid and stable, and for us to grow and build behind it. And I'm going to tell you another thing that's exciting about it is I feel like we have 3 really good backs, and that's a great combination to have, especially early on as we're continuing to grow. But you know, you can't take away that experience that they've had. You know, with Colt and Dante and KJ, you know, they've started for 3 years, and that's just so much experience and different circumstances. And Robert Mcbride is a senior who's been in our program, and this is his turn to go. And another, you know, really good-sized kid and intelligent. And Brandon Snowden will be the only underclassman starting up there. And again, he's got some in-game experience, and we feel really good about them. I thought they played exceptionally well in our Jamboree game. I thought they were dominant, nasty, and tough, and executing the right way. And and really hope we're able to turn that corner and become that offensive line, that can be legendary, hopefully. So we're extremely high hopes for them, and we need them to be good.
Well, I'm extremely biased offensive linemen, so even if they aren't the best, I'm going to say they are.
That's right.
We can arm wrestle over that if we need to. So, quarterbacks. So, Hartley Sullivan, he has been the starting quarterback. You've been rotating him and Jack Wright in and out at practice. Has Hartley tied down the starting spot, or is this going to be a two-quarterback system this year?
We're going to let those guys compete and give them both the opportunity, and we're going to do whatever it takes for this team to be successful. It's always team first here, and we'll make the decision and go by what we see. And all we can do is, evaluating is what our eyes tell us and what we see on a consistent basis. So that's where that is, and let them compete, let them get after it, and whoever gives us the best chance to win is what we'll go by. And especially early on, it could be. We're not setting anything in stone, and we'll give them both the opportunity. I expect them both to play, and hopefully they both can play very, very well and set our team up and do a good job of running the football team. So it's just like any other position. We're going to give them that opportunity and let them hash it out between them, and thankful that we have both of them and in that position. So. But that quarterback position is so important, and they're both. Hartley has been a leader, and the kids absolutely adore him and love him, and Jack as well. And so that's a good thing to have, is that trust. And so we're excited about that opportunity, and we're excited about getting better at that position.
It's a testament to both of their families, but also a testament to the coaching and them being part of the system. But those are probably, Jack and Hartley are probably two of the better kids that you could have in a football program. You've got to be excited to have them.
Sure, and they've been such every time they're in and out and rotating, they slap hands and they're tapping each other on the head, and what great examples. And I don't think either one of them played as well as they wanted to Friday, but most of us didn't.
Right.
And very rarely do you get it right, especially first time around. And so we're going to keep coaching them up. And they're going to keep working, and we're going to keep growing and getting better week in and week out, and we're going to keep on keeping on.
Well, you got a deep backfield behind them, Coach. We talked about that. Darius Carter, T.J. Thompson. I'm going to throw in J. Mims, Trey Hall, and let's throw in the pinball Lane Gordon.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, just impressive watching him run. A very deep backfield. Is it one of the deepest you've had at Warren Central?
One of them, for sure.
Yeah.
It's T.J. and Debo have and Trey, for that matter, have really transformed their bodies. Mm-hmm. I mean, that weight room that we just mentioned, they look the part. They are strong. They're not only strong, but they have worked. Coach Cruz has done a wonderful job with them, working on finishing moves and being elusive after we get through that first line. I think TJ, if you watch the Jamboree, the first thing that you noticed about TJ was it was more of a shiftiness and more of an elusiveness to TJ. And then you come in with the bruiser and Debo, and then Trey Hall has put on probably 15 pounds, mixed with Trey's speed and burst, and he's a different dynamic guy there. So they're all give you a little something different. Great kids, hard workers, and we're expecting great things out of them.
So talk about the challenge of making sure they have meaningful reps, or is that all Coach Rob's problem?
Look, they understand it. You want the ball, be productive.
That's right.
When you get the ball, make something happen. You make something happen, you're going to get the ball.
Right.
That ain't hard.
I thought you were going to talk bad about your brother for a second.
No, that's just the way that is.
But you talk about Craig Cruz. Let's mention him. He is the new running backs coach. Ross Coley, who was on our staff for years, he took a head job at Thrasher High in Northeast Mississippi. Craig Cruz comes in. Seems like he's done a great job for us so far.
Oh, man, just been a smooth transition. And another, Craig has been in our program for a while now, and been primarily working with our ninth grade past couple years, and it's a seamless transition, and he has definitely brought his own personality to our running backs. He's got their ear. They pay attention to him. He knows what he's talking about, and they trust him, and it's been a really good relationship. He also works with our special teams as well, so very proud of him and what he's brought to our program.
So I've been out watching practice several times on the defensive side of the ball. I almost wish we had tape on some of these helmets so I can know these kids' names. A lot of new faces on that side of the ball.
Correct.
But it seemed like they've done a great job of gelling, especially in the spring scrimmage and then, of course, the other night against North Pike. What is your expectation for this unit this season?
The expectations won't change, man. We have to be great. We have to be great. We have to look a certain way. We've got to be great at the little things and control everything that we can control, which is being great at alignment, and never getting outflanked, understanding your job and your duty, being where you're supposed to be, have a pursuit, have a mindset. We're all running to the ball, and we've never been a hero defense. We've always been a team defense, and understanding that aspect makes the game a whole lot funner as well. So we'll hold them to the same standards, and got a good nucleus with Floyd Davenport, Jay-Sean Simon, and Jason Williams coming back there. Those are some guys that played a lot of ball. Expect them to take over and put their stamp on the defense, and feel really good about that leadership, and they've done a good job so far, and it's up to us as coaches and up to the other guys that are going to start their first games to make sure that we keep things going the way they're supposed to, and want to be a dominant defense, and this team's going to need us to be a dominant defense, so expectations are high.
Well, Coach, unfortunately, we are still in this COVID environment, but last season, you and the coaching staff, I thought y'all did a fantastic job of navigating through that, and you've done a great job so far this season navigating through that. Case numbers are up, but we're doing extremely well, and it's a testament to you guys. Talk about the challenge of you are a coach, you're a mentor. Oh, by the way, now you're a healthcare provider.
Yeah.
How much of a challenge has that been for you personally?
Well, it's a challenge that we've all absorbed, and it takes a complete staff, and it also takes the help of our kids. We ask them to mask up every time in the field house, every time they're in a meeting room, every time they're in a weight room, and they understand it, and it's no resistance there. It's no, it's just that we have to do this if we, to keep everybody healthy. Our coaches do a wonderful job keeping our locker room clean, and we have coaches spraying helmets and shoulder pads down in and out of workouts, and spraying down equipment in and out of workouts, and trying to give them everything they can as far as hand sanitizers to keep them safe as we can. And like you said, it's a different. I guess it's more work on your workload, but our coaches have absorbed it together, and really just trying to take care of our kids and make sure that they stay healthy, and we do everything in our capability to help them do that.
Well, you folks at home, you see that we have a gap between us. It's not that we don't like each other. We're just trying to stay consistent with the standards of what we're trying to do. Because if he gets sick, they don't want me coaching the team this Friday night. So we're going to do our part. But hopefully all the best to you on that. And just thank you for keeping our kids safe. I know that's not in your job description, but other duties is assigned, I guess.
That's right. And we'll do whatever we need to do.
All right, well, Red Carpet Bowl. That's why we're here. That's what we want to talk about. You grew up in this field house. You've been around this program since you were probably able to walk with your dad, and you've played, you've coached in it. How important is this Red Carpet Bowl to you?
Well, these kids are awfully lucky to be able to experience this. Red Carpet Bowl, it comes along with this story tradition, goes back so many years. But around here, the Red Carpet Bowl means it's the first game of the year. For the past, 15 years. Used to be played as a playoff game back in the older days, so it's kind of evolved. But what our kids know it as, it's the first, it's the first game. It's always have a really good crowd, and you get to play for a trophy your first game, and that type of stuff. But it just, it correlates and it goes with this time for football, and that's kind of how the Red Carpet Bowl. That's what it means to us. Is we know it's the first kickoff and first game, and it's an awful exciting time, and we sure are looking forward to it.
I'm excited about it. It means we maybe are back to some type of normalcy with football coming around. But let's talk about this. As we always ask, what are the keys to beating this Forest Hill team this week, Coach?
So, again, it's we're going to have to be sound, not necessarily over-explosive. We don't need to do anything extraordinary, but we need to be very sound offensively, and that means taking care of the football. We need to make sure that we're not our own worst enemy. Take care of the football. Be efficient on the offensive end. and that means consistently moving the chains and making some big plays when the opportunity presents itself. That's in the passing game included. You know, we set people up. We're a run-heavy team. I don't think there's any surprise to that. There's going to be shots that are had in the passing game, and we can't miss them. We can't overthrow them. We can't underthrow them. We can't drop them. We have to be, we have to make those plays. We got to be good in the run game when we have that crease to be special in the back. So, again, it needs to be efficient. It needs to be, taking care of the ball offensively. We feel like our special teams should be a strength for ours, and we need to use that as a major factor in this game, finding those hidden yards and field position and kicking game, and feel like our kickers are very solid, and we need them to have a good game for us. And then defensively, it's very simple. It's you cannot give up the big play. You know, you can't give up the big play. Make them be consistent. Make them drive it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be the first game. Make them be great and drive it up and down the field consistently. We cannot give up the big play, and that's what our DBs and linebackers have heard all week. So I hope that they're ready for that and understand it.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Glad to be back.
Yes, sir.
Back in the saddle again. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the show. We will be back next week. We'll talk about this game with Forest Hill. We'll look ahead to Vicksburg. So 5:30 kickoff. It's going to be hot. Just bring you a bucket of water.
Bring me one too.
Yeah, get there early. It is at Vicksburg High School. There is limited parking due to construction. Our game is at 5:30. Recommend you get there early to get a good spot. There was an article in the Vicksburg Post about the way the traffic flow is going to be. I encourage you to go read that so you aren't upset or discouraged when you see there's a one-way street the way you normally would go. But, Coach, again, thank you for your time today. Aisha Cooper, thank you for filming. We'll see you next week. Until then, this is Viking Talk. I'm Brandon Davis. He's Josh Morgan. Rise up, Vikings.